Hello, my babies. Hello, YouTube world. I am coming live after being live on FB, and I am kind of ready to do some more astrology. I've got this slideshow that I've done, and I'm going to throw it in the chat for anybody who's seeing this later on. This is the astrology to go with the week's astrology of the 13th to the 18th. So right now we're in a Virgo moon, and we're going to move all the way through Virgo, all the way through Libra, and then into Scorpio. So I'm going to pull up. I should have had this prepared, but I really didn't. All right, so I'm just going to copy the link and put it in the comments of the chat. For anybody who wants to view it, there is like an 18-page slideshow. Very quick, just breaking down what I'm going to talk about to follow along with for your keeping, no charge. All for my lovely starlings. So let me get this in here. All right. So from now on, you guys can see there's a link there. Let's just move this. Oh, God. Oh, God. Oh, God. Okay. I probably should have turned down the music in the background. I hope it's not too loud. Anyways, hello, welcome. Please feel to drop information in the chat and talk with me in the chat. We are going to talk about the astrology of this week. It's pretty intense. Mercury's ruling the moon for half of it, and the moon is ruled by Mercury right now. And the sun is ruled by the moon, and it's a lot of changing, a lot of shifting, a lot of moving, and the best thing we can do is just go with the flow and keep it honest. But yeah, I'll take you through it. So like I said, there's a link I'm gonna provide, and I provided in the chat. You're more than welcome to open it up. So there's a moon transiting 3 elements. As of yesterday, it was in Leo. It's in Virgo now. It will complete the sign of Virgo, fulfill the sign of Libra, and dip into Scorpio before we are here next week. So, like I said, Mercury is being ruled by the moon. The moon is now being ruled by Mercury because it's in Mercury's other sign, Virgo. And the sun is being ruled by the moon. So there's a lot of like this right now. And it's to be expected. We're about to hit the final. This is the final leg before we hit the retrograde motion, where everything, it goes back to beta testing, okay? We go back to reviewing the science, really, and taking in what happened. I want to talk a little bit about the generational planets. I was peeking into this book. I highly recommend it. I can't even see myself. Hold on a second. So this book here, highly recommend it for any astrologers and astrology students. So it's called Traversing the Inner Landscape, Retrograde Planets by Aaron Sullivan. Honestly, I could read this book a million times and I would never be tired of it. So in this one bit, she's talking about Uranus, but she's really talking about the generational planets in general and how they come in this passing. They hit something and then they go a little past it and they come back and hit it again. And they go way, way, way past before to recalibrate. And then it takes forever to get to that third pass. But the third pass is the longest stretch. Okay. And with all of the generational planets as of next week will be in retrograde. That's Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, Neptune, Pluto, and then a bunch of asteroids and outer body trans-Neptunian planets, dwarf planets as well. It's getting to a point now where we're asked to activate ourselves. It's no longer about feeling like change is needed or finding your place inside the change. You know those things now. With generational planets, the times that we live in are not accidental. I have to remind this to all of my friends, my connections, my clients, and my family. Nothing is accidental. And being born and alive and of a certain age at this time in history is not an accident. We are raised with heroic stories of these heroes' journeys. And for a lot of generations, that was just a story, but not ours. Well, this happens, this retrograde. This is the last week where we have one of the big planets still going forward, and he's going really slow, but it's Uranus. So any aspects to Uranus are going to be extremely powerful right now. So that's Leo, Scorpio, Aquarius. You guys feel it the hardest. That shocking regeneration. I talked about it in the horoscopes. I'll just tap into it a little bit here with the Leo one. You're going to be tested with people. There's going to be a lot of projection tests to see how you can handle these waters because they've shifted. It's kind of like, I feel like I'm getting this image in my head actually of like approaching shores. When you're in the sea or in the oceans, the water's really, really cold. But as you get closer to water, closer to land rather, the water gets warmer because it's getting closer to the sun. So it's being heated. But there is that first moment of feeling, oh, it's warm over here. And leaning into that, that's already happened. You're walking in hot water. Now you got to figure out how to survive, knowing what you know about living in the deep. Now you're in the shallow. Now you can stand. How good are your sea legs? For the cardinal signs, there is so that's Cancer, Capricorn, Libra, and Aries. Because the moon will be in Libra this week, and Venus is dancing with Mars still. I mean, she's moving past him, but still, like it's still a thing. Chiron is very much in the center of Aries. It's very much in the middle of the ego, in the head. We are aware of our wrongness. It comes to mind that I heard this TikTok where this scientist person was talking about humans are actually like most uncomfortable and afraid with people and animals and beings that don't look exactly human. Like something that's human but just off is really, really, really creepy to us. That's why like baby dolls are creepy to us and mannequins and stuff, because they're humans but they're not. So it's almost like we're programmed to be afraid of something that looks like us, even though we're us. It's kind of that same energy right now where Chiron in the ego is, okay, we have to know that somewhere inside of us, yeah, we're all pieces of shit. Somewhere inside of us, we've all been hurt. Somewhere we've been abandoned. Everyone. And owning it instead of letting it own you is literally the only way to walk around. Chiron shows that even with your wounds, which were worth getting because it meant that you experienced the situation, sounds horrible, but it's true. It shapes you. Sometimes being a victim is like a personality thing that people put on so that they can get certain kinds of attention, or they play a martyr situation so that they can feel more comfortable in their own actions. This isn't that. This is someone who's hid their issues, hid their problems, and it's really all of us. We've all done it in some aspect, and that's why Chiron's here. Having that, hello. I can interpret a little bit about you. I'm just working on the Chiron situation. So what I'm saying is for the cardinal signs, it will be most intensified when it comes to the way that those wounds that you're now being honest with yourself about, the way that they're received is going to create imbalances, because it's uncomfortable for people to see what they've done wrong. It's uncomfortable for people to look at what they've known and disregarded. I was thinking about this earlier when people are thinking about the situations with the political scheme of the Catholic Church, that whole situation. I'm not going to go into it, but people are polarized with themselves because a lot of people have the information and have just pushed it down because society pushed it down. Like, it's kind of like the first time a child hears that meat that they eat, it came from an animal, and you see that look on their face where they're like, wait, what? I'm doing that? They feel horrendous. I've not seen one child not say initially when they figured out that math, you know, I want to be a vegetarian. Because there's just this, we don't want to be monsters. Okay. But somewhere along the line, society says this kind of monster is okay. This kind of monster is okay. This kind of monster is okay. We have excuses and we have all these lines. Uranus is the thing that comes around and cracks that open for us. But that's happening in Taurus. Okay. That's happening next to Aries, which means the revolution hits, but then the ego wound hits right after. Okay. Aries, Taurus. We're getting this, ooh, everybody can see my boo-boos. And then this revolutionary reaction is the following feeling. And that will be the pattern. And it's going to be destabilizing. It's supposed to be destabilizing. While the sun and Pluto face off, it's about being authentically okay with losing power. Because the only way to step into your own power is to let go of all the places that you don't have any. You cannot split your power. You either own yourself or you try to control everybody else. It can't go two ways about it. That's this cardinal energy right now. So really respecting our wounds and opening and being authentic with ourselves is very important. Mutable signs. Okay, so the nodes have been like wrecking their way through, and that's all like crazy and chaotic and beautiful. But Jupiter has been dancing. Jupiter and Mercury are the two rulers, traditional rulers of the mutable signs, which are Jupiter, Pisces. Sorry, Jupiter rules Pisces and Sag, and Mercury rules Virgo and Gemini. So Mercury just finished a retrograde in its own sign, giving the mutables this chance to redefine their own truths about who they are, where they're going and where they want to be and how they see others. But with Jupiter now retrograding out, there is a lot of introspection and a chance for miscommunication. There's a lot of chance for miscommunication for the mutables. So really, really be careful. Also, I would say because Neptune is in those late degrees of Pisces, when we get to the end of Virgo, not today, not tomorrow, like early, the day after tomorrow. What day is it today? So early Friday morning, I would say, is when we're going to feel that mutable push for. Okay, so Neptune's retrograde. What I'm trying to get at here is that Neptune and Pluto are working together, as they always do for like the last 70 years. They've been in tandem, and that's the disillusionment with the destruction. Our ability to find a spiritual and metaphysical way to deconstruct things, to create power and domination things, all switching back and forth. But sorry, you're just getting me off track here. So with Pluto and Neptune in connection to the sun in Cancer, there will be this kind of apex angle for the last days of Cancer season. When that happens, for the mutable signs, this is where I want you to be really careful. In the last days of Cancer season, so like the 15th, 16th, this last week, people will see through your lies and know that you don't believe that they're lies. They're versions of your truth, but they're going to see through them in a way that you're not going to be able to catch up with. So you need to be completely authentic and honest with yourself. Mercury is in a pretty good place, but information is going to change often. So many times, because again, this is also because Lilith is moving into Gemini here. So Sag and Pisces and Virgo, you guys are all going to feel like there is this chaos brewing at home, with your partners, in your own identity, at work. There's this chaos brewing, and you feel like it's going to feel like people are talking about you behind your back or whispering about you. The whole purpose of Lilith is to teach people autonomy. Okay? They have a right to think whatever they want of you, and it is only important for you to correct that if they have a stake in your life. Otherwise, you're wasting your breath. You are proving their point because they want to argue with you. Just like kids, they're going to poke until that's Lilith energy. So you're going to feel that from other places. You're going to feel tested, and you are. You have to give people the autonomy to be who they are. At the same time, if that means that you're less connected to them, you have to be okay with that. You can't be mad at them or yourself for growing apart. Lilith does that. She pushes us into a place where we can walk on our own. I would love to read for you, Samar Jayan, but I don't have any information for you, and I am an astrologer, so I need charts. I do Vedic, Yodish style square astrology and circle style Western astrology. Let's see here. So the fixed signs, I did mention that it's going to be really hard. The cardinal signs will also have a really hard time this week, and the mutables. So I will say during the Libra moon, that's where we're going to feel the most unstable. That's where things will, that's where things are really going to be, like information is going to arise that things have already developed. Things that may have felt like they were just teetering were actually like growing their own stability on the side. And the stuff that wasn't being stabilized since the last Libra moon, that's all going to crash, fall down. And that's because Venus is in Leo with Mars. Like she's really busy not paying attention to her own house. She's dancing with her lover. So the stuff in the houses of Venus, Taurus, and Libra, it's going to be bad. And I just want you guys to remember that it's fine, but that, when your chart ruler or your dominant planet is Venus and she's in a position like this, it's meant to teach you how to let go of your feeling that you need to judge other people, having to let go of your feeling you need to control everything and hold everything down. Venus comes with Mars so that she can learn how to fly and disconnect. And they almost get a very Aquarian energy to them because they have this lover, brother, sister thing. Okay, so we're at 18. I'm going to close it up. Thank you so much for joining me on my live. And if you would like to get a reading with me, or are you seeing this later on, please just contact me. Hit me up. I'm available, and I'm Canadian, so I'm cheap. Be good and make good choices. Okay, so stream will stop immediately and no longer be live. You want to stop stream? Yes, we're going to make good choices.